Hi friends, Ashley from Wildwoods&Homestead. We are in a bit of a hot spell here on the homestead, so our days have kind of been forming a rhythm based on the weather, and we will try to get up early and get some of the chores done so that we're not working in the hottest part of the day. Geoff and his dad and the kids were fencing the other day, and they got caught just in the middle of the day, and that was just really hard for them. We have some really hot summers, some really intense sunshine here, so we've been trying to get up earlier and get those things done when we still have some cool weather. Our days are really long in the summer. It doesn't really start getting dark until well past 11, at least midnight or so. So we have some really long summer days that we're just really trying to get the most out of, since we have such intense winters and the days are so short in the winter for us here. So our days are kind of like, getting up, getting outside, getting those outdoor things done, coming back in and cooling off and working on food prep or just anything indoor that needs to be done. That's the time that we do it. We do spend a couple of days doing quite a bit of food prep since there are so many of us. We're finding that having things made ahead of time is making it so much easier to get things done and to get out the door if we need to go somewhere, and just already having these healthy foods on hand. And one of the things that I really enjoy making is a large coleslaw. My ultimate goal is to make this with our own cabbages and carrots. I have not arrived there yet, so I'm just using some store-bought cabbage and carrots, and I'll just use whatever the store has available. I just had purple cabbage and carrots and onion this time, but I do like to put in green cabbage and make it as colorful as I can. I have made my own mayo for this recipe, but currently we're rebuilding our flock, so we don't have eggs coming in. We won't have eggs coming in until winter. So I just bought this Chosen Foods mayo, and I made a dressing with it, and I can write the recipe to this in the description box because it's a sugar-free recipe. It's really delicious, so easy to make, especially if you need to make something for a get-together. This is just something that you can make in bulk that's delicious, easy to add to a meal. And then something for fun, we thought we would make a cake for the 4th of July. Geoff is Canadian and I'm American, so our kids are dual citizens. We don't always do something for the 4th of July, but this year my daughter wanted to learn how to make this gluten-free yellow cake. So this cake is actually based off of a recipe that I made when I was a kid. I found it in a magazine, a food magazine in the 90s. I grew up on base. My dad was career military, so I'm thinking it was a magazine that I had found at the BX, and it was an advertisement for Cool Whip. And you take your yellow cake and you bake it in a 9x13 dish, and then you spread your Cool Whip. We don't use Cool Whip anymore. We just used heavy whipping cream that we made into whipped cream. And then you put your fresh blueberries on the top for the blue part of the flag, and your strawberries for the red stripes. And we didn't have any fresh berries on hand, so I thought we'll just make a really thick blueberry sauce. We had frozen blueberries and frozen strawberries, and we'll make a thick strawberry sauce. And we just did our frozen berries with made a cornstarch slurry with some organic sugar and cooked that down until it was nice and thick, and then we put it in the fridge overnight to set up. And then instead of doing 9x13 cakes, we just did these round cakes, and then we layered the blueberry sauces between the layers along with the whipped cream that we made, and it was such a mess. It was not neat and tidy at all by the end of it, but that was okay. It was still delicious, and we thoroughly enjoyed it after we came in from playing outside. And then my daughter got to learn how to make this cake, and I'm really just enjoying having kind of all sides of the spectrum right now. We've got 16 to newborn, and so my older kids are helping out a lot more in the kitchen and learning how to make a lot of the things that mostly I made. And it's been so fun having them in the kitchen with me learning, and then they can just take over and start making the meals on their own. And it's been such a huge help to the family to have them doing that. So we made these cakes the day before, and then on the 4th of July, we still just had our regular things that we needed to do, our regular homestead chores, although we took a break from some of the heavier tasks that we're working on. But something that we are working on is beginning to harvest, and I don't have anything coming in yet, not like carrots or beets or anything. I do have plans for preserving the garden this year. I don't have a pressure canner, but I have made a list of things that I want to preserve through water bath canning, the things that are safe to do that with, and so I'll share some videos on that, as well as some other preservation methods that I would like to try this year. And then next year my goal is to get a pressure canner and learn how to do some of that canning, because I always wanted to do that. But for this year, we're just gonna be preserving as best we can without the pressure canner. And then something else that I needed to do was make some more lotion bars, and this is something that I make and sell, and I also have it in our shop, and I'll put a link to our shop in the description box. And these are tallow lotion bars. Normally I'll render my own suet, but I haven't been able to find any, so I source this grass-fed rendered tallow from a farm in Alberta, and it is so good. These lotion bars are so great as a body bar, face bar, hand bar, even as a lip balm. So I'll have the link to our shop in the description. And then of course, as the afternoon progressed, we all went outside to do anything that involves water and cooling off. And Geoff found these inner tubes and just at Walmart, and we decided to get those and just kind of add it to the slip and slide. The kids and Geoff have been planning a dugout out front there, and so they're already talking about building a slide going into the dugout. So that's been something really fun to look forward to. And then because it was the 4th of July, my mom had brought me this blanket that she had made from a picnic blanket that she had made from old jeans of ours, and she had added all these patches to it, some patches from my dad's uniform, patches from places that we had lived and visited, some overseas deployments. We had I think there was a patch from Germany and Sweden and England, and it was just really fun to get that out. And of course my kids were asking me about all of those, and it brought up memories of the 4th of July, growing up on base. A lot of times my dad would be deployed, but we would always find something to do. There were always kids to play with, and the families on base would still get together, even if the husbands and wives were deployed. And we would do, a barbecue, go see the fireworks on base, or go to the base pool, and of course have lots of delicious, simple picnic foods. And so that was really fun to share some of that experience with my kids this year. It's not something that we do every year, but we really enjoyed it. And the cake still turned out delicious. It was pretty messy, but we all loved it, and we just had a great day, and everybody slept so hard that night. So that was nice when you have toddlers and they need that sleep, and they're just playing so hard all summer and sleeping so hard. So anyway, we had a great day, and I appreciate you joining us.